Allah Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Brakakadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who do rule well. I am not a member, however, I've entered into their labors. So I'm going to jump right into this through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. I hope that you are edified. So on this video here, the apostle asked a series of questions, mainly for the newer individuals like myself and some of you who may or may not be watching. So the first question was, so the overview is and he spake as a dragon, as you can see. You can go and watch that on your own. But the questions he asked was who is the dragon? I wrote down who's serpent / dragon because it is interchangeable. 7 heads and 10 horns, and the crown. Who are the stars of heaven? The time period of Revelations 12 in the first couple of verses. So who are the stars of heaven? Who is the woman? Who is the child? And in the time period of that dragon. So let's jump right into it. And it'll kind of be back and forth, but just bear with me, write these scriptures down so we all can be edified and learn, alright? So, first, who is the dragon? So what we're going to do, that dragon is the starting with the Roman, it actually starting back with the Greeks. So because you had Alexander the Creep that come on, speed it up, let's go, there we go. We had Alexander the Creep who established his kingdom in 12 years. And we know when we read these things did not happen overnight. When kingdoms fall and when kingdoms rise, there's a series of events. It just looks like it's fast because of what we're reading, right? So 13 and 2, I'm not going to read the whole thing. I just really need the first part. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard. So from the start of the Greek Empire, or once the Hellenization of Alexander the Great started, or the creep, he ain't great to me, but once that started, Rome took over. Greece, according to Daniel, the 7th chapter, when you have the beast, starting with the Assyrian, moving on to Babylon, moving on to Medo-Persian. Persians took over the Medes. And then you had Greece. So after Rome took over, Greece, the Greco-Roman Empire is what it's known as. They assimilated that Greek culture, that Hellenization. And if we look, let's see what that phrase. Hellenization. I'll put Hellenistic, but let's see if it gives me the definition. So, relating to Greek history, language, culture, from the death of Alexander Crete to the defeat of Cleopatra and Mark Antony by Octavian 31 BC. Okay, Greek culture flourished, spreading through the Mediterranean, in the Near East and Asia, and centering on Alexandria, which is in Egypt, a city named after Alexander, and Pergamum in Turkey. So that this was the spread of the culture of what we know today as a Roman culture. So when the Bible talks about that beast being diverse, or the last beast being diverse from the let's get that. I think that's Daniel 7. I'm just going to open up another one. I'm pretty sure it's Daniel 7. Man, bear with me. My computer only moves slow when I'm trying to record something. Goodness. Because I want to keep this one up. Or it could be 11. Daniel 11. I'm not sure which one, but we're going to get it. We're going to find it out. Okay, that's really, you know what, we just going to move on. So, alright. Let's go back to that. We'll go back to who. We're going to stick to the script. So who was or is the dragon. Now this skips back and forth. In Revelations 12, it's going to skip back and forth in time. But for the sake of this, I'm going to get Revelations 13. Okay? Uh, and that is the Edomite power structure, starting with the Greeks who established the culture throughout the world, and Rome taking it over, and Rome being that last beast that was had a deadly wound and was healed, and that deadly wound we know is America, who's taken back over, right? So that's the dragon. Uh, let's see where we going. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, and that's also what I wanted to get. So as of now, how we have Democrat and Republican, you had in the Roman Empire plebeian and patrician. So that was, there's a many things that link ancient Rome to Rome today, to this place, which is the daughter of Babylon, which is spiritual Sodom, spiritual Egypt. Okay. So the second question was seven heads, 10 horns. Now let's go to that. I think Hmm. What can we get? Let's go to 12. Back to 12 because we need to talk about. Oh man, this thing's still thinking. Sheesh. No, it's not. Dang, I hate to have to go back and forth because it ain't. Alright, well, so anyway, so these seven heads and these 10 horns, that seven heads is EU. So EU started. Slocky, excuse me. EU started in 1951. You can look that up. I don't want to get it because, well, let's see. Let's get it. Let's see if it works. So UK was in it. Hold on. Dang, that's not what I meant. Let's do initial countries. Countries in EU. But so seven is going to be UK, Belgium, France, Germany, Italy, and Luxembourg. So, yeah, that's just in the start of 1921. I'm sorry, 1951, and it spread to I think however many is it 28 countries now. UK was officially out of the EU I think in February of 2020. So February was last year. So the 10 horns is going into, and that's why I'm saying it jumps back in back and forth in time, right? So those 10 horns, we'll get it for context. 7 and 7. After this, I saw in the night vision, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, strong exceedingly, and it had a great iron teeth, divided to break in pieces, and stamped in the residue of the feet, and it was diverse. that was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. So this is the Roman Empire, okay? And this is going. We're talking about the first one, not the wound that was healed, which is America. That little horn that popped up is America, but this right here is the Roman Empire, as we know it. So here is the list of these vassal states: Vandals, Ostrogoths, Visigoths, Alemanni, Franks, Burgundians, Lombards, Anglo-Saxon, Suevi, and Hureli. And most of these are Germanic tribes who have warred with the Roman Empire, and they have many skirmishes, and they have fought back and forth for land. Obviously, Rome taking over and being the dominant power, but they never gave up. So you can look into that and see. Check the Netflix special. I think is called Roman Empire, and it's broken up into series going from. It tells it backwards, so it goes from how it fell all the way back to how its inception. Or I might have watched it backwards, but either way, check that out. Okay, and then those crowns, we need 12, or is it 13? 7 crowns. Yeah, buddy, that's what we need. So that's just a representation of authority. Because as of now, they can go throughout the look who's shutting down the entire world from a, you know, what do we have? What's going on right now? And at that last year, how the entire world was shut down, or how they shut down the stock market. So let's let them say it. Let's see what we got.
Strong's G 1238. Diadema. Diadema.
Diadema. So when you wear a crown, that means you are a crowned king. You have authority, right? Boom. Okay. Damn. Come on. I shouldn't even did that. Diadema. The kingly ornament of the head crown, right? Okay, so that's what I figured. So that's just a representation of authority. Now, oh, back to yeah. So back to the 7 heads and 10 horns. So those 7 heads are those governments, the governmental systems. I mean, yeah, the governments of those different countries at the start of the EU, NATO and EU, because not all NATO countries are in the European Union. All right, now we're gonna move on to who are the stars. Actually, it'll just kind of be bunched together. It'll be bunched together only because close it out of how it goes back and forth in time. Come on now. Okay. All right. So the woman is Israel. Obviously it tells you right then and there, but you are gonna get some context on this. So and there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon. So the sun and the moon is going to be the sun being wisdom, and that is a ancient understanding, and the moon being understanding under her feet. And it was given to us, wisdom and understanding was given to us by way of these law, statutes, and commandments, how to live, because Yahweh Shai, or Yahweh, while Yahweh Shai dealt with our nation. He's given us his laws and statutes and commandments. He's not dealt so with any other. That is a scripture. I think it's in Psalms. You need to look that up. Just type in, he has not dealt so with any other. You'll find it. And upon her crown was of 12 stars. Those 12 stars represent the 12 tribes of Israel. So I want to keep that up because I don't want to lose it. Let's go to Genesis 37. 10. Maybe it's the 9th verse. We'll see. So Joseph's dream. And this is the son of Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel, Yasharallah, in the Lashawan Kadash, or the ancient Hebrew, meaning the prince of the power, or he is prince of God. Oh man, it took me. Come on. And he told it to his father and his. Oh wait, there we go. And he dreamt yet another dream. So the first dream he had was about sheathing, like binding. They were out in the field, but this one is where the context come from, with those 12 stars and the sun and the moon. And he dreamt yet another dream, and it was told to his brother, and he said, behold, I've dreamt a dream more. And behold, the sun and the moon and the 11 stars, because it was 11, because he was the 12th, made obeisance to me. So that sun, in this vision, represented the father, his dad, Israel, Yasharallah, and I think his mother was, oh man, Rachel. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think, but the mother. So the moon was the mother, and the other stars were the other tribes, and the 12th star being him as one of the tribes. Okay. And then we're gonna go to the time period of the dragon. So obviously, not obviously, Salakia. And there appeared another wonder in heaven. Behold, a great red dragon having 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns. So this is Rome. This is the first Rome. This was back then. We're talking about 70 AD. This dragon can also be, or if we're looking at verse 4, and his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven. So, the power of an animal is in his tail, right? And he drew the third part of the stars of heaven. So he drew that is that 70 AD. That is when because the southern kingdom had already been quote unquote deported. I'm sorry, the northern kingdom had already been quote unquote deported, and by this time it was just the southern tribes, Benjamin, Judah, and Levi, who were still present. And there were many revolts because of the unjust taxing. And although Rome allowed us to keep law, statutes, and commandments, they could at any time shut that down. The same way they could come and shut it down here in New Rome, in New Spiritual Rome, or continuing Rome, if you would. So this can also mean Herod, because he wanted to destroy Yahushai, who is the man-child, if we're moving down. And she brought forth a man-child who was to rule all the nations with the rod of iron, and her child was caught up unto Yahweh and to his throne. So right here is the Roman Empire from back in the gap. Also, this can be Herod, because he was an Edomite. Although he called himself a Jew, he was just a providential ruler, as a vassal to Rome, to the actual empire. Okay, so what I also wanted to get was right here. Hold on. And the dragon stood before the woman, which is ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. So that was Herod right there, ready to kill off all the firstborn, because he was trying not to allow that prophecy to come about. And we will get as a precept. Matter of fact, let's do it on this one. I don't need you. We're gonna switch you to you. So I want to get 121, because remember, he let's see. Oh, the man child. And she brought forth the man child who was a rule. That man child is Yahushai. So here's my precepts for that. And she want let's see, who was to rule all the nations with a rod of iron. Alright? And he being caught up, after going back to the spirit world, after fulfilling his duty as the perfect, spotless sacrificial lamb, who fulfilled the law, not did away with it. Matthew 1 and 21. And also Revelations 5 and 5 and 22 and 16. So it won't be in order, but I'm going to get them anyway. Whenever you're ready. I might just have to grab it from my phone and read it if this thing keeps taking so long. Genealogy of Yahushai the Messiah. Because remember, he's of the root and the offspring of David, right? But we're going to go into that as well. Come on. There we go. Right. Okay, we'll just go to, we'll start at 20. But while he thought on these things, behold, the angel of the Lord appeared unto him in a dream, saying, Joseph, thou son of David. Remember, he's the root and the offspring of David, right? Fear not. And he went on down that lineage. Fear not to take unto thee Mary thy wife, for let's come on, restart. I'm getting a little excited. For that which is conceived in her is of the Holy Spirit. And she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Yahushai, meaning he is the deliverer. He delivers. Jesus ain't a word. For he shall save his people from their sins. Okay? Precept number 2. We're going to go to Revelations 5 and 5. And this is pertaining, I'll just read it. And one of the elders, you know what? Let's start at the top. Book of the seven seals. And I saw in the right hand of him that sat on the throne a book, come on, a book written within and on the backside sealed with seven seals. This book is what we have now compiled together, which is the Bible. And I saw a strong angel proclaiming with a loud voice, Who is worthy to open the book and loose the seals thereof? And no man in heaven, nor in earth, neither under the earth, was able to open the book, neither to look thereon. And I wept much, because no man was found worthy to open and read the book, neither to look thereon. Verse 5, here's the meat right here. This is what we're looking for. And one of the elders saith unto me, Weep not, behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, hath prevailed to open the book and loosen the seven seals thereof. Call, Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Alright, precept number 3. So we're going to hit Revelations 22 and 16. And also to backtrack, when we're talking about Herod, you can read of him trying to destroy the man-child, which is Yahweh Shai, to stop that prophecy from becoming true. Read Matthew chapter 2. Matthew chapter 2 is going to tell you what you need to know about Herod the Edomite. Okay. I, Yahweh Shai, Revelation 22 and 16, I, Yahweh Shai, have sent mine angel to testify unto you these things in the churches. I am the root and the offspring of David, and the bright and morning star. So you see how he was prophesied about in the Old Testament all the way up into the New Testament. They are together. You have to bind them. And in order to understand why there is how the Roman Empire came about, you need the Apocrypha. You need to go to the Book of Maccabees, where it talks about Alexander the Great, how he was the one who paved the way for all of this. And when Rome took over, they adopted those practices of the Greeks and made the whole world drunk to deceive, or went out to deceive the nations for the first time. Then he was put away. So that 1,000-year period, I don't want to get off top, man. Let me, shoot. You know what? Let's stick to it. Let's stick to the topic. Lord willing, I'll do another lesson on that. So I want to go to 2 Samuel. So we're gonna stick on Yahweh Shai right now, and then I'll end it at that. These are just precepts about the man-child and him being the root and offspring of David, and him being the savior. Okay, 7 and 13. Okay, David plans to build a temple, and we know he couldn't build it because of the blood on his hands, but we need 13. So here's the covenant with David. And a lot of us who were coming out of the Christian church, we know they love to omit the throne of David. 2 Samuel 7 and 13. Okay, let's do 12. And when thy days be fulfilled, thou shalt sleep with thy fathers. I will set up thy seed after thee, which shall proceed out of thy bowels, and I will establish his kingdom. He shall build an house for my name, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever. So this is Yahweh talking to David, right? And I will be his father, and he shall be my son. And if he commit iniquity, I will chasten him with the rod of men, and with the stripes of the children of men. Now, when Solomon got his kingdom, when he followed after his father and got the kingdom, there was 40 years of peace. So that was a foreshadowing of what the kingdom is that we're going to coming here pretty soon. That is a foreshadowing. Now, Solomon was never beat. There was peace. He would never, there was no war. So who is this? It's a rhetorical question. Jehoshaphat, if you can receive that. 1 Chronicles 28 and 6. So he got it wrong as Adam. He almost had it as Solomon, but he got it right this time as Yahweh Shai. And what's the difference between the three? The most recent one, when he came back as himself, he didn't deal with women. 1 Chronicle 28:6. All right, and he said unto me, Solomon thy son, he shall build my house and my courts, for I have chosen him to be my son, and I will be his father. So those two match up, right? So you know what? Let's find that one. Was it many stripes? We're gonna get that and then close it out. Oh, I forgot the E. I spelled that wrong. Or we should come up with by his stripes I am healed, right? Come on now. This track. Okay. If I can't get something to come up, then do this on your own. Right, so we know 2 Samuel 7:13, he says, you know, and roughly paraphrasing, if he goes off, I'll beat him with many stripes. But that never happened to Solomon in Solomon's time. So, I'll pass the torch to whoever sees this. Find where Yahweh Shai was beaten with many stripes. Because as he was jailed, once he was seized in jail, they treated him badly, to say the least. That was an understatement. And that's why he's coming back with vengeance. And most of them are scared of us in our own form right now. They don't, for so-called black man rises up, people are, they looking. How much more Yahweh Shai when he cracks those clouds, right? So I'm going to just end it, man. Oh, here we go. And that servant which knew his Lord's will and prepared not himself, neither did according to his will, shall be. Nope, that's not what I'm looking for. But find it. It's in there. I will pass that on to you. So I pray that you were edified, and that you would take this in, that you got these scriptures, and you go forth in your own study, so that way you can pick up where I left off and further edify the sheep. So with that being said, Kwam Yasharala, Kwam Yasharala, Kwam Yasharala, Abad Babal, Abad Babal, Abad Babal.